Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, WWE action figure setup style.
Seth freaking Rollins, and this is Bretto live on YouTube.
What is going on, guys? Bretto live back with another video, and today we have the Week in Review episode 265, where we go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. Before we even start this video, smash a like on the video. Little like button's right down there. You're gonna want to hit the thumbs up. Let's get the likes up on this video. Comment down below right now which show is better this week, Raw or SmackDown. And now we are gonna jump into Monday Night Raw to start off. About halfway through the video, we're gonna be jumping into the blue brand, that being SmackDown. Raw was banging this week, so we're going to talk about it right now from OHIO, from Ohio, baby. So let's go. We opened up the show with an absolute bang. Rhea Ripley, of course, returning last week on Monday Night Raw. She confronts Dominic Mysterio. She had some questions for him, but first of all, she had to address Liv Morgan. She's like, Liv, I want you at SummerSlam, and I'm absolutely going to end your career. I love how Liv interrupted, but she didn't interrupt in person. Coward. Liv Morgan interrupted on the Titantron, so she was backstage cutting a little, not an interview, but like she was being filmed as she was speaking with Rhea Ripley in the ring, which I thought was pretty cool. I found it really odd how Dominic Mysterio had a black rose and he was trying to give it to Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley was not having anything to do with Dominic Mysterio. But by the end of the night, Rhea might have come around, man. She's got the hots for Dom, no doubt about it. This was a banger opener. I can't wait for Liv versus Rhea for the Women's Championship. I'm surprised it's not a custody of Dominic match. I feel like it should be. I feel like that's more important here than the World Championship itself. After last week, Sheamus looked to get a little revenge on Bronson Reed, and he absolutely did. Sheamus beats Bronson Reed with a high knee. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus picks up the victory. After the match, it looked like Bronson Reed was going to go in for a sneak attack while Sheamus was celebrating, and then Pete Dunne out of nowhere saves Sheamus. Keep this in mind. Saves Sheamus from an attack by Bronson Reed. Then after that, he freaking attacks him from behind. I'm like, Pete Dunne, what are you doing? You just saved him from an attack on Bronson Reed. Why not just let Bronson Reed attack him? And then Pete Dunne allowed for Bronson Reed to hit the tsunami splash on Sheamus. So in a way, Pete Dunne officially turned heel here, and honestly, I like it. I prefer a heel Pete Dunne, not with the New Catch Republic. I feel like Triple H is going the right route here, having Pete Dunne just be on his own, be a heel, the bruiserweight, the classic bruiserweight. Pete Dunne as a heel, just it feels right. It really does. But Bronson Reed did get the last laugh with the tsunami, bro. Another video package for Gunther, making him look strong as crap going through his entire career. Of course, he's the one that's facing Damian Priest at SummerSlam, bro. I'm really excited for that match, by the way. I feel like WWE is making a big mistake, though, if they take that title off of Damian Priest right now. I will talk about it in a few here, but Damian Priest is getting more and more over every week, slowly turning into a face, I might add. So I feel like it would be a mistake if they were to put the title on Gunther. I feel like Gunther needs to start feuding with like Brock Lesnar or something if Brock Lesnar were to return. But yeah, Gunther, he is very freaking strong, and he very well could take that title off of Damian Priest. Selena Vega can cut a promo, dude. They need to give her the microphone more. Anyways, backstage, Selena Vega cut a promo against Sonya Deville and her little new group of Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, and she was cooking Sonya Deville, talking about her freaking mustache and her forehead. I was like, hey, yo. It led to a match where Selena Vega went one-on-one with Sonya Deville. The match was okay. I would have loved to have seen Selena pick up the victory here and just ruin Sonya Deville's returning match, but it didn't happen. Shayna Baszler had to get involved and literally snap the arm of my poor Selena Vega, bro. Like, really? How are you going to injure her like that? And then that allowed for Sonya Deville to hit her finisher. 1, 2, 3. It was all over. Sonya Deville looking pretty strong. I mean, I don't mind Sonya Deville, but man, I like Selena Vega more. This promo was awesome. Gunther showing his respect for Damian Priest, but that would slowly fade away as he calls him street trash. I was like, what on earth? Talking about Damian Priest's upbringing, but Damian Priest responding with, you have gotten handed everything in your career. I've had to work for everything. That's exactly what you're going to have to do at SummerSlam to take this title. I'm excited for this match. I enjoyed this promo. I think that it absolutely smacked. They went head to head. They literally put their heads together, butting heads. This was a great promo. Right after it, of course, Damian Priest had to go face-to-face with Gunther, and he had a one-on-one match with Braun Strowman. I was like, ooh, how is this match going to go? I was curious, because I'm like, I don't really see them pinning Braun Strowman here, because Braun Strowman rarely gets pinned. I was like, Damian Priest is the World Heavyweight Champion, though. Could this be a clean sweep? It was! Damian Priest beat Braun Strowman clean. Nobody got involved. No Judgment Day. He hit the South of Heaven, which is insane, which is an insane, like, choke slam, side slam, and he got Braun Strowman up, 1, 2, 3, takes him out, pins him. I was like, what? Damian Priest looks strong as crap here, man. Pins Braun, looks amazing, and dude, Damian Priest is really getting over with the crowd. This was great. I loved this. Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler had a tag team match going up against Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. We did have Lyra Valkyria and Sonya Deville on ringside. They kind of got into it, leading to a couple of distractions here and there. That allowed for Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark to hit a double team maneuver and pick up the victory. So I guess Sonya Deville is creating a pretty good faction here. I really wish I had a Zoe Stark figure right there. I know there's an Elite on the way, but I gotta wait for it. This group, I mean, it's not my favorite group, obviously, but it's still not too bad. Sonya Deville's growing them. They're winning matches. They all did in one night. Sonya Deville won, and her tag team with Shayna and Zoe also won. So I guess she's doing something right. A VHS tape was delivered to the Pat McAfee show. Normally, these are delivered to the announce table on Monday Night Raw, but what an interesting way to deliver one of these. So Pat McAfee brought it to the show. He brought it to the truck and had it played, and it was a video really surrounding Eric Rowan. And I loved this video, talking about his past, how he lost two of his brothers, and this was like super like real and interesting. Eric Rowan, an absolute beast, an absolute OG of the Wyatts. Like, you can't have the Wyatt family without Eric Rowan. Like, he's like one of the lone survivors. Literally, you need Rowan in this group, and he cut an absolute amazing promo video here. And dude, what happened with the Wyatt Six later, I will talk about it. It was freaking insanely fire. This was a great way to get us ready for what would happen later in the show, which I will talk about soon. Drew McIntyre lost his temper. So you know how Adam Pearce has Drew McIntyre currently suspended, right? Well, Adam Pearce was willing to raise and lift that suspension if he were to apologize to two officials, two referees. No freaking way! They've screwed me over multiple times. I'm not apologizing to anybody. Pushes the officials on the ground and freaking gets in the face of Adam Pearce. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not how you're going to get your match with CM Punk, Drew. What are you doing? And then Seth Rollins couldn't stand seeing anymore, so Seth Rollins' music hits. He runs down, has a little brawl with Drew McIntyre, gets him out of the ring, and I was like, holy cow, so what's the match angle gonna be? Is it gonna be CM Punk versus Drew at SummerSlam, or is it gonna be Seth versus Drew at SummerSlam? I don't know. Or do they do a triple threat angle? I really don't know, but I would assume it's gonna just be Punk versus Drew, right? That's the match we need. That's the match we want. Now they're getting Seth involved. I'm curious to see where this is gonna go. I also found it really funny how when Drew was walking out, yeah, he pushed the security out of the way, and then he also literally improvised by slapping a Seth Rollins sign out of a fan's hand walking up the entrance ramp. I thought it was so funny. I loved that. Jey Uso wants to date Rhea Ripley. Backstage, he asked Damian Priest and Dominic if Rhea Ripley is single, and Damian Priest says, yeah, she might be actually. So Dom's like, nah, Rhea, I love you that much that my mommy, no, I'm not gonna let somebody talk about my mommy like that. He requested a match against Mr. Yeetman Jey Uso. He got it. Dominic Mysterio versus Jey. You already know Liv had to get involved. Liv had to come out, and he saved Dom from a frog splash that would happen to him off the top rope. He pulled Dom out of the ring, and then Jey drop kicks Dom, lands on Liv, and then Liv twists Dom over super aggressively, and they kind of get into it over here. But then Rhea, she's back. She's not going to let it happen. Rhea runs down, and she's like, nah, Liv, that's not happening. Liv runs through the crowd, and Rhea's like, finish this, Dom. Go in there and finish this. Immediately gets speared. I was like, yeah. It was a freaking wicked spear, by the way. Amazing timing by both guys. Like, they both jumped in the air at the same time. It was sort of boom, like mid-air spear. It was freaking sick. Jey Uso picks up the victory and looks amazing in front of Rhea Ripley. Tell her I said, aha! But to top off the night, Rhea Ripley did say to Dominic Mysterio, you're mine. So Rhea Ripley still wants Dom. We all know it. There were some great Judgment Day backstage segments throughout the entire show that I recommend you guys see. But to top it off once again, Rhea said, you're mine, Dom. So yeah, she still wants Dom, even though she's got some pent-up animosity towards him. It's Dominic Mysterio, bro. Come on, bro's the Rizzler. Chad Gable thought he could call out Bo Dallas and sneak attack him? Ha! Nope. All right, first of all, Chad Gable tried to recruit Otis Akira earlier in the night backstage. He's like, I need your help against the freaking Wyatt Six, or please come with me, help me out. And Otis is like, nope, not happening. We're going to help Xavier Woods since Kofi Kingston is injured. I'm like, wow, way to stand your ground, Otis. But Chad Gable found two guys that will help him. The Creed brothers, Brutus, Julius Creed, which I love that. I love heel Creed brothers. I think that's actually really fire, and I like this faction. Them with Chad Gable is really freaking cool. I'm not going to lie, it's really cool. So they attack Bo Dallas, right? They absolutely beat the snot out of him. Literally destroy him. Bo Dallas is getting absolutely murdered, right? And he's laughing the entire time as the Wyatt Six make their entrance. Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross, they all come out slow, very intimidating. They scare away the Creed brothers and Chad Gable, and they have an awesome freaking stance in the ring. They all sit there with the lantern, and it looked freaking awesome. What a visual. This is probably going to be the thumbnail for the Raw side. Dude, I cannot wait to see what the Wyatt Six are going to do. I would assume their first match is going to be against the Creeds and Chad, which, once again, this faction's awesome. But this is a lot better. Really cool. I'm using Nikki Cross with Michin since she has a mask. I think it looks pretty good. 2 Fiends, and then actually an Eric Rowan right there. And to top off the night, Sami Zayn went one-on-one with Ilya Dragunov for the Intercontinental Championship. And me and my brother, we were watching this match, and I was like, bro, this is so lame. I know what's going to happen. Braun Breaker earlier in the night was escorted by security. He's like, make sure he leaves my building. I'm like, Braun Breaker's not leaving that building. Come on, let's be honest. We all know he's going to interrupt this match, and he did. I was so bored during this match because I knew what was going to happen. I mean, it was a good match, but I couldn't get behind it because I'm like, I know what's going to happen. Braun's going to come out, spear, and he did. I don't mind Braun Breaker, but it's getting old. Week after week, same thing. Screws up a match, spears Sami Zayn. It's the same thing every week. I'm sorry. I hope they do a triple threat angle, like I keep saying. Sami, Ilya, and Braun. It needs to be a triple threat angle at SummerSlam. It would make it more interesting for the IC title. And have Sami freaking retain, bro. Screw Braun Breaker, honestly. That was Been Raw WWE Action Figure Setup Style. What an amazing episode of Raw. I really enjoyed this show. There was a lot of good stuff. There was some weak stuff, but it was actually really freaking good. I'm gonna give this week a solid 7 out of 10. Favorite moment on this show, the Wyatt Six. I'm not gonna lie. Their little entrance they did, intimidating Gable and the Creeds, was really freaking cool. There's a lot of other good stuff, but that's what definitely stands out the most to me. Let's jump into the blue brand, that being SmackDown. Let's go, baby. The blue brand, we got SmackDown from Omaha, Nebraska. We opened up the show with Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion. He was hyping up the crowd, talking about the bloodline, talking about how he's very embarrassed about how Randy Orton was absolutely destroyed last week because of the bloodline. Cody Rhodes feels like it was his fault. I was expecting the bloodline. I was expecting Solo Sikoa. I was expecting Tamatanga, Jacob Fatu, Tangaloa. But no, we get A-Town Down Under. And I'm like, this is very odd. So they come out. Grayson Waller claims that it was also Cody Rhodes' fault last week, that he got beat up. And I was like, in a way, it kind of is. But the Bloodline are just beating up everybody, so you gotta expect that. Cody Rhodes tried to stir the pot between the two by mentioning how Grayson Waller is supposedly using Austin Theory, which I also agree with. Cody Rhodes wastes no time, attacks them immediately as they step in the ring. But dude, A-Town Down Under actually started getting the best of Cody Rhodes until Cody Rhodes got a steel chair from Terrence Crawford, who was on ringside. Terrence Crawford being like a fighter that has an upcoming fight, so they put him on ringside to help out Cody Rhodes, just to get his face on television. So Cody Rhodes, he had the steel chair, he scared away A-Town Down Under, and he requested a tag team match for later in the night. Nick Aldis said, absolutely, but it can't be a 2-on-1 handicap match. You gotta find a tag team partner. That's our main event. Cody Rhodes and a mystery partner versus A-Town Down Under. I can get with that. Easily my favorite match of the night. Carmelo Hayes went one-on-one against Andrade, and this was some great stuff, man. Absolutely jam-packed with action. Carmelo Hayes, I thought for sure, I'm like, dude, they're gonna give it to him. He don't miss, right? Andrade picks up the victory, dude. Very shockingly, pins Carmelo Hayes clean. 1, 2, 3. I hope this isn't the last bout between these two. I thought it was a great match, and I feel like we need to see another one. But good for Andrade, man. I feel like he hasn't had really that big win ever since returning to WWE, and this definitely felt like a pretty big win to me. Carmelo Hayes, a first-round draft pick. This was really good, but like I said, I want to see a rematch. I really do. Bayley and Nia Jax had a little interview backstage where they were in separate locations so that it wouldn't go crazy, so they basically just exchanged some words. Bayley called out Nia Jax for being unsafe in the ring, which I thought was really insane how she called that out. I was like, whoa, this is getting personal. Nia Jax got pissed and she kind of just cut off the interview, but we will see these two ladies a little bit later in the show and I will talk about it. But this interview is pretty decent, actually. For Bayley to call out Nia Jax for being unsafe, that is insane. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty crazy. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven, they were all fighting about who can talk to Nick Aldis first. I'm like, bro, really? Just walk into his office, all right? Just go in and ask him what you want. Do you want a tag team match? Freaking ask for it. Anyways, they decided to settle their differences in the ring. Very short match. I thought for sure Bianca was gonna win with the KOD, but she didn't. Bianca kind of just rolled up Chelsea Green, 1, 2, 3, and kind of they were just out of the picture. Immediately after the match, Jade Cargill turns on Bianca Belair. I'm just kidding. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, the current women's tag team champions, pop up on the Titantron and they acknowledge the rematch request that Bianca and Jade requested. So I would assume SummerSlam we're going to be seeing that rematch for the tag team championships, and hopefully we could see Jade turn on Bianca. I think that would make for a great storyline. This promo was amazing. It was a contract signing for the United States Championship, and normally your contract contract signings, you have a couple tables in the ring. It's sitting down. It's all professional. Dude, I loved this form of the contract signing. Both men standing in the ring. Nick Aldis in the center of the two men. They were just spitting fire, man. And this was such a kick butt promo. If you missed it, watch it. Oh my God. I was very caught off guard when Logan Paul called LA Knight by his real name, Sean. I was like, what did he just say? I was like, holy cow. Logan Paul was calling out the gimmick of LA Knight and all this. I was like, holy crap, this is getting real. This is getting heated. And LA Knight threw it right back at Logan Paul, calling him out for how he's afraid to face him, saying Jake Paul's got more balls than you. He wants to step in the ring with Mike Tyson, but you don't even want to step in the ring with me. That makes you afraid, Logan Paul. This was a kick butt promo. They freaking butted heads. Logan Paul, it looked like he just was going to walk out of the ring, but then he jumps back in the ring after LA Knight turns his back. Freaking coward. LA Knight got the best of him. Almost had the BFT, but he didn't. And yes, the contract was signed by Logan Paul. I'm surprised that Logan Paul signed that contract super easily without creating more excuses. But I cannot wait for their match. And please, we need a new United States champion. His name is LA Knight. Please make it happen at SummerSlam. After the contract signing in the ring, LA Knight got confronted by Santos Escobar backstage along with Elektra Lopez, who looks fantastic, by the way. Santos Escobar called out LA Knight and said he wants a match for next week. And LA Knight also has Santos Escobar's mother's number? How interesting. Miss Money in the Bank had a match up against Michin, Mia Yim. Match one-on-one. I'm not a big fan of Michin, as you know, so this match kind of had half of my attention, but it was still decent. We had Nia Jax on ringside, was guarding the Money in the Bank briefcase of Tiffany Stratton, and she actually got attacked by Bayley, who took the Money in the Bank briefcase and bashed it over steel stairs and bashed it over the freaking announce desk. Bayley destroyed the women's Money in the Bank contract, and the only reason they did this is because I know, and I've been calling it for months, Tiffany Stratton is getting a pink Money in the Bank contract, and I think it's freaking awesome. Thanks, Bayley, for destroying that lame white one. I can't wait for freaking Tiffany Stratton to be walking around with a glittery pink freaking briefcase. It's gonna be awesome. But I couldn't believe it. Michin Mia Yim pins Tiffany Stratton? You gotta be freaking kidding me. This is crap. And Tiffany Stratton gets pinned? I couldn't believe it. With help from Bayley, obviously, but still. I'm like, what? Before the main event, the Bloodline had a very intimidating promo saying, whoever teams with Cody Rhodes, we will destroy you. An absolutely intense dark promo backstage, and then we jumped right into our main event, which was Cody Rhodes going up against A-Town Down Under, and Cody Rhodes needed a tag team partner, and he chose the prized fighter, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens always looking for a fight. Who better to ask than Kevin frickin' Owens? Kevin Owens comes out, 2 screams walking down the entrance ramp. He couldn't help but knock over the Prime bottle, not once, but twice during the match. I loved that. Their match against A-Town Down Under, yes, they pick up the victory. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory had a little controversy in the ring where Waller would accidentally knee Theory in the face and accidentally push him into a Cody Cutter. Just turn Theory face already. And you already know Theory had to take the pinfall. Immediately after the match, Solo Sikoa's music hits and he comes down, and very similar ending to last week on SmackDown where they put Randy Orton through the announce desk, but this time they did it to Cody Rhodes and they forced him to watch as Jacob Fatu absolutely destroyed Kevin Owens with the Samoan butts in the corner and then sent him into the steel post with a steel chair wrapped around his freaking neck, man. I know that's Jimmy Uso, but I'm posing that as Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is absolutely a maniac, literally a more crazy enforcer than Solo Sikoa was. And they forced Cody to watch just like they did last week. So anybody who helps Cody Rhodes, the Bloodline will destroy. This is not my Bloodline, though. Where is Roman Reigns? If Roman Reigns returns at SummerSlam, I'm going to lose my crap, if you know what I mean. That was SmackDown in the WWE action figure setup style. Let me know what you guys thought about the blue brand this week in the comment section down below. To rank this show, I can 7 out of 10. I thought this was a really good episode of SmackDown. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. My favorite match/moment, Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. I loved that match. Easily at number 2, it would be LA Knight and Logan Paul promo. Loved that so much. Let me know your favorite stuff down in the comment section down below. That has been the Week in Review. Hope you guys enjoyed. And stay tuned for next week where we run it back, talking about Raw and SmackDown all over again. Bretto Live is signing out.